Layering can be one of the most powerful tools in your wardrobe. The right combination of pieces adds elegance, sophistication, and comfort. But here's the truth. The wrong choices can instantly add 10 years to your appearance. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 7 common layering mistakes that I see women make all the time. And more importantly, I'll show you the simple, effortless fixes that bring back your ageless elegance. And trust me, mistake number 7 is the one I see most often, and it's the biggest one you'll want to avoid. So make sure you stay with me all the way through to the end. Welcome to EverWise Older Women, the place where we celebrate style, wisdom, and elegance that only gets better with age. I believe that fashion is not about chasing trends or trying to look younger. It's about embracing who you are right now and using clothing to express your confidence, grace, and timeless beauty. Over the years, I've worked with countless women who thought they had to hide behind layers or stick to safe outfits. But when they learned a few key styling tweaks, the transformation was incredible. They didn't just look different, they felt different. They carried themselves with a whole new confidence. And that's what I want for you. So if you want weekly tips that help you feel stylish, empowered, and beautifully yourself, make sure you hit that subscribe button and let's grow stylish together. Let's start with the big one, bulky layers. Oversized pieces can feel cozy, but they often add visual pounds and hide your beautiful shape. When a sweater is thick, boxy, and long, it creates a straight column from shoulder to hem. That straight line erases your waist, drops the eye downward, and makes the frame look heavier. Stiff fabrics stand away from the body, wide sleeves swallow the arms, and a high, chunky neckline can shorten the neck and crowd the face. Even details like big pockets, heavy ribbing, or thick quilting add volume right where you don't want it. Here's the fix: structure and slim foundations. Start with a close, comfortable base layer, a light modal tee, a fine-gauge merino or cashmere blend, or a soft knit that skims without clinging. Think of this as your column, one continuous color or a similar depth of color from shoulder to hip. That column quietly narrows the silhouette and gives you instant polish. Now, add a structured outer layer. Look for pieces with shape built in. A blazer with darts and princess seams, a cardigan with set-in sleeves and a gentle waist, or a light jacket with a defined shoulder and a soft drape. Single-breasted styles with a clean line are especially flattering. They create vertical movement in length. Notice the difference when the shoulder seam sits right at your shoulder, the sleeve is slim through the forearm, and the hem hits at a point that elongates, mid-hip or just below the hip bone, rather than cutting across the widest part. If you love a cozy knit, balance it. Pair one relaxed piece with one fitted piece. A chunkier sweater becomes elegant when it's slightly cropped or front tucked over a slim pant or a straight skirt, and when the sleeves are pushed to 3/4 to show the wrist, a delicate, youthful detail. Swap thick, spongy scarves for lighter, fluid ones you can drape in a V-shape to open the neckline. Choose smooth textures over bulky cables and medium-scale quilting over oversized puffs if you need warmth. Fabric matters as much as fit. Lightweight wools, viscose blends, ponte, and fine knits create flow instead of bulk. Look for lining or facing that helps the jacket glide over your base layer rather than grabbing. And don't be afraid of simple tailoring. A small nip at the waist, a sleeve shortening, or moving a button can transform a piece from boxy to beautifully yours. Watch what happens when a heavy, oversized sweater is replaced with a tailored jacket over a slim knit. The waist reappears, the shoulders look lifted, and the whole silhouette feels lighter, longer, and more elegant, without sacrificing comfort. Have you ever felt swallowed up in your layers? Tell me below which piece does that to you, and we'll fix it together. One of the easiest ways to look frumpy or older than you are is to forget about proportions. When every piece you wear is long, wide, and loose, your outfit becomes one continuous block. The eye doesn't know where to rest, and instead of seeing shape and elegance, it only sees fabric. Here's the fix: balance. If you go long on top, go slimmer on the bottom. And if you want a wide leg pant or a flowing skirt, balance it with a closer, shorter top. The goal isn't to look tight or restrictive, it's to create contrast that gives your body definition. Let me give you an example. Imagine wearing a tunic that falls to mid-thigh, paired with a full, wide skirt. Everything is loose and long, and the result is shapeless. Now, picture that same tunic paired with slim, tailored pants or leggings in a dress neutral. Suddenly, the top reads as elegant and fluid, while the base streamlines the look. The eye sees movement and shape rather than just volume. Accessories can help balance proportions too. A longer pendant necklace, a narrow belt at the waist, or a scarf draped in a V-shape, these guide the eye vertically and restore harmony. And don't forget about hemlines. If you wear a longer cardigan, make sure it ends at a flattering point, just above or just below the fullest part of your hips, not cutting straight across them. The same goes for skirts. Midi lengths that skim just below the knee or mid-calf are often more flattering than skirts that stop right at the widest part of the calf. When you understand proportions, layering becomes playful instead of frustrating. You'll notice your outfits feel more intentional, your frame looks longer, and the elegance you're aiming for shines through. So let me ask you, do you usually prefer longer tops with slim bottoms, or are you more of a cropped jacket and wide leg pants kind of woman? I'd love to hear your style balance in the comments. The next mistake I see so often is relying on heavy, stiff fabrics. Now, don't get me wrong, warmth is important, especially in colder months, but thick, bulky fabrics that don't move with you can actually work against you. They add volume, weigh down your frame, and can create a harsh, rigid look that instantly feels older. Think of those stiff wool coats that feel more like armor than clothing, or chunky tweeds that don't drape but instead stand straight out from the body. They create square lines, and instead of looking refined, the whole effect feels heavy and tired. The solution is to choose fabrics that have both warmth and fluidity. Light wool blends, cashmere, viscose knits, jersey, and modern technical fabrics all offer softness and drape without that bulky effect. They move with your body instead of against it, and that movement adds a youthful ease to your look. Another trick is layering lighter fabrics instead of relying on one single heavy piece. For example, rather than a big chunky sweater, try a slim knit top layered under a structured blazer. Add a lightweight scarf or wrap for texture. This layered approach not only keeps you warm, but also gives your outfit dimension without the bulk. And don't forget the importance of texture. Shiny fabrics like silk blends reflect light, which softens the face and adds vitality. A smooth ponte jacket looks far fresher than a stiff, rough wool coat. Even something as simple as a fine knit cardigan layered over a soft blouse feels lighter, fresher, and more elegant. To see the difference, picture two outfits side by side. One with a thick, rigid cable knit sweater and a heavy tweed skirt. The other with a lightweight knit top, a flowing scarf, and a tailored wool blend skirt that skims rather than stiffens. The second look feels effortless, modern, and age-defying. So here's my question for you. When it comes to cooler months, do you usually reach for heavy, chunky knits, or do you prefer lighter pieces you can layer? Let me know in the comments, because this choice makes a world of difference. Now, let's talk about color, or rather, the lack of it. One of the biggest mistakes I see is relying too heavily on neutral palettes. Beige, gray, black, taupe. They feel safe, they match with everything, and yes, they have their place. But here's the problem. When your entire outfit is built on neutrals, it can actually wash you out, make your skin look dull, and unintentionally add years. As we mature, our natural coloring softens. That means wearing head-to-toe neutrals without any balance can drain the life from your look. Instead of elegance, the impression becomes tired and flat. Here's the fix. Add color strategically. You don't need to dress in bold brights or chase trends, but introducing soft jewel tones, gentle pastels, or even a single accent piece can transform your outfit. Think of a navy cardigan layered over a soft blush blouse, or an emerald scarf draped against a charcoal jacket. These little pops of color lift the face, brighten the complexion, and add vibrancy. Even small touches make a difference. A silk scarf in a floral pattern, a handbag in burgundy, or earrings with a hint of turquoise. These details break up the monotony of neutrals and remind the world that your style is alive and full of personality. One quick tip. If you love wearing neutrals, keep them away from your face. Use a pop of color in your top, scarf, or jewelry, anything near the neckline, to reflect light upward. That single adjustment can make your skin glow and your eyes sparkle. So let me ask you, what's your go-to accent color? Do you love jewel tones like sapphire and ruby, or do you prefer softer shades like blush, lavender, or sky blue? Share it with me below. I'd love to know. The next mistake is one we've all been guilty of at some point, piling on too many accessories. Now, accessories can absolutely make or break an outfit. The right necklace, scarf, or brooch can highlight your personality and add instant polish. But when there are too many competing pieces, layered necklaces, oversized earrings, multiple rings, a scarf, and a bold handbag all at once, the effect becomes cluttered. Instead of elegance, the outfit feels busy. When we over-accessorize, the eye has no resting place. It jumps from one detail to the next. And instead of noticing your face, your smile, your confidence, people only see the accessories. And here's the truth. Too much going on tends to read as dated and overwhelming. So what's the fix? Focus on one statement piece at a time. If you're wearing a bold necklace, keep your earrings simple. If your scarf is colorful and patterned, let it be the star and skip the necklace. Think of accessories as exclamation points. One or two make the sentence powerful, but too many just cause confusion. Another trick is scale. Larger accessories can be very chic, but they need room to breathe. A single chunky bracelet can look fabulous with a simple layered outfit, but add in oversized earrings, a wide belt, and a big scarf, and suddenly the outfit is drowning in extras. Here's an easy rule of thumb. Before you head out the door, glance in the mirror and ask yourself, what's the one thing I want people to notice first? That's your statement piece. Remove anything else that distracts from it, and you'll have a balanced, elegant look. Now, I'd love to know, do you lean towards scarves, necklaces, or earrings as your go-to accessory when layering? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see what most of you love. Length is one of the most overlooked details in layering, yet it has one of the biggest impacts on how your outfit looks. Wearing pieces that end at the wrong spot can cut your body in unflattering ways, shorten your frame, and add years without you even realizing it. For example, cardigans or jackets that stop right at the widest part of your hips make that area look even larger. Long coats that end mid-calf can make the legs appear shorter and heavier. And scarves that hang awkwardly without structure can drag the whole look downward instead of lifting it up. So what's the fix? Choose lengths that elongate and flatter. Jackets that hit just above or just below the hip create a natural, balanced line. Cardigans that skim past the hip without cutting across the widest point give you a smoother silhouette. Coats that end just above the knee or at mid-thigh make the legs look longer and add elegance. Scarves deserve attention too. Instead of wrapping them in a bulky loop that hides the neckline, drape them in a V shape that points downward. This creates a vertical line, lengthens the torso, and keeps the face open and youthful. A good tip is to use mirrors. Try on your layered pieces, then stand back and look at where the hems cut across your body. If they're landing on a wider area, adjust. Sometimes a simple tuck, a belt, or rolling a hem can completely transform the look. So here's my question. Do you feel more confident in longer, flowing cardigans that elongate, or do you prefer shorter, cropped layers that highlight your shape? Share your answer below. I'm curious to see which team you're on. Now for the most important mistake of all, the one that can instantly add or subtract 10 years from your appearance: forgetting fit. No matter how stylish or expensive the pieces are, if they don't fit you properly, they won't do you justice. Layers that are too big create a sloppy, overwhelmed look, while pieces that are too tight can feel restrictive and uncomfortable. Both extremes add age, and neither allows your natural elegance to shine. The fix is tailoring and attention to detail. A blazer that nips slightly at the waist, sleeves that hit at the right spot on your wrist, trousers hem just to brush the top of your shoe. These small adjustments make a world of difference. When your clothes skim your body instead of drowning or squeezing it, you look polished, graceful, and confident. If you love a certain piece but it feels off, consider alterations. Moving a button, shortening a sleeve, or taking in the waist just a touch can transform it from average to stunning. And don't underestimate the power of shoulder fit. When the seam sits right at the shoulder, everything else falls into place, and the whole look feels sharper. Layering with fit in mind also means thinking about what's underneath. A slim base layer allows your outer layers to glide over smoothly. Structured jackets or coats work best when the layer underneath isn't bulky. This creates clean lines that flatter without adding bulk. Think of fit as the finishing touch that ties everything together. It's the silent element that says, "This woman knows her style, and she wears it with confidence." And now, I'd love to know, do you have one item in your closet that you adore but never wear because the fit just isn't quite right? Tell me in the comments, and maybe it's time to take it to a tailor and finally give it the life it deserves. All right, let's take a breath and quickly bring everything together. We've just gone through 6 powerful adjustments: avoiding bulky layers, balancing your proportions, choosing fabrics that flow, adding color for vibrancy, simplifying your accessories, and paying attention to lengths. And finally, we topped it off with the most important detail of all: the fit. Each of these on its own makes a difference. But when you combine them, that's when layering stops being a struggle and becomes a tool for effortless elegance. Suddenly, you're not hiding under your clothes. You're highlighting your best features, celebrating your shape, and dressing in a way that reflects the confident, stylish woman you are. And now I'd love to know, do you have one item in your closet that you adore but never wear because the fit just isn't quite right? Tell me in the comments, and maybe it's time to take it to a tailor and finally give it the life it deserves. Before we wrap up, let's quickly revisit the 7 layering mistakes that can make you look older and the simple fixes that bring back your elegance. Number 1. Bulky layers. Instead of piling on heavy pieces, choose a slim base and add structure. Number 2, ignoring proportions. Balance wide with narrow, long with short, so your shape always shines through. Number 3, heavy fabrics. Swap stiff, thick materials for softer, flowing blends that move with you. Number 4, overly neutral palettes. Neutrals are fine, but bring in a touch of color near your face to brighten and lift your look. Number 5, too many accessories. One statement piece at a time keeps things elegant and uncluttered. Number 6, wrong links. Watch where your layers end. Hems should flatter, not cut across your widest points. And number 7, forgetting fit. The right tailoring, even just a few small tweaks, can take years off your look. When you put these all together, layering becomes a way to highlight your best features and express your timeless style, rather than something that weighs you down. Now, I'd love to know, which of these mistakes surprised you the most? Or maybe you've already been working on one of these fixes in your own wardrobe. Share your thoughts in the comments. I always read them, and our whole community learns so much from your experiences. If you found these tips helpful, please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up. It helps more women just like you discover our channel. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join us here every week for fresh inspiration on fashion, confidence, and celebrating style at every age. And of course, if you have a friend, sister, or colleague who would love these tips, send them this video because sharing elegance is one of the kindest gifts you can give.